Yo, what's good, everybody, and welcome back to the End Goal Podcast, the show where I like to have meaningful conversations with people about topics that I find interesting and/or educative. Today's guest is my longtime best friend, Blayne. He is someone that I've known since the third grade, I think, third, second, something, some elementary school grade, and we've been in touch just ever since then. Blayne has lived a much more diverse and interesting life than I have, and we always end up catching up about it when we do talk. And so, well, you guys get to meet him too. You guys get to meet him too. That's how it's gonna go. I generally have no talking points planned for this conversation. I just hope that wherever it goes, you guys enjoy. And here is the conversation that I have with Blayne. See where this goes, because I genuinely like when I was thinking about this, I was like, where is this going to go? And I'm like, we'll just see where it goes. I already recorded an introduction before this, and so guys, this is Blayne. This is how he looks. This is him. This is my friend. He has a mustache, no beard anymore
Yeah,
for
no beard
now.
no more. It's hot,
Yeah.
dude. It's so hot. And my
Oh
face
my
gets all
god.
sweaty and greasy and oily and stuff.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
the old lady said she likes the mustache. I was like, yes, ma'am.
yeah.
I can make that happen.
Mine doesn't like a clean shaven face. She's like, no, keep the beard, and I'm like, I get that, but every year I've always at least once in the year shaved everything off.
Yeah.
But I have been told by many people in my life that I look like two different people with and without a beard, and it's
Yeah.
too stark of a contrast.
So, like, I don't know if I think I showed you all of my IDs at one point in time, right? Like my
Yeah, yeah,
TWIC
yeah.
card, my driver's license, and like my concealed carry license. Like every single picture is different. I look like a different person in every
Oh my god.
single one of them, dude. Every single one of my IDs that I have is like I just look completely different because like I have a mustache from one, a beard in the other. My driver's license still has a mohawk on it. Like it's
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, the recent change for me is this hair, because if you recall, my entire life I've always had my hair
yep.
up and to the right like this.
That's what mine does is up and to
Yep.
the right.
And so recently we've been playing with just bring it to the front, which I think makes me look slightly younger, which I
Yeah.
already don't need because I already look young as it is. So I generally don't know if people when they talk to me are like, this is a 28-year-old man.
Yeah. Is he 17 or 34? We can't tell.
Is he masquerading as like a teen in a drama or something? I don't know.
Hey,
Uh,
you might be a good actor. We
no,
never know. No,
no.
I
My sister's
I
the actor. Me, no.
see. I gave it a shot. I was an extra in a few movies, but
Okay, when I did the intro, I literally told everybody I was like, Blayne has lived such a more diverse and interesting life than I have. I
I
went
really
to
have.
college and then I got a job. I did the American or like the dream they sold us.
Yeah.
You did everything else under the
I
sun.
yeah. So
Can you walk us through what you've done?
it might be easier to tell you what I haven't done. Um,
4 star?
I'll just say, yeah, I haven't done that yet. Probably not going to. Um, but so typically, you graduate, you go to school, and then you go to either college or a trade school or just straight into the workforce or something like that, and you get out and you find something you want to do, and then you do that thing, and every once in a while, people might like, you might work in one field for 2 or 3 years, and then you're like, I don't really like this anymore. I'm gonna switch fields and go do something else. And you're like, oh, I like this. My road is not a straight road. Okay, my road is very curvy. It's like coming down a mountain. It was just. It took
Mm,
me a really long time to figure out where I belonged and what I enjoyed, and I gave everything a fair shot. I threw my hat in the ring at pretty much everything. So as me and you, we've known each other all of our lives.
yeah.
We've played sports together. We went to school together. We've done extracurriculars together, hobbies together. We've done everything. And then 2 weeks after high school graduation, I joined the military and I went into the army. And I was in the army for 4 years. Went overseas. That was cool. And then came back. When I came back, I got out of the army. It's hard for me to remember. Got out of the army, moved to the DFW Metroplex, went to college, did 2 years that at my associates, then decided I'm really burnt out on college.
Mhm.
Not doing that no more. So I went to trade school, and I went to trade school for auto and diesel mechanics because I liked working on cars. I mean, I like cars. Cars are cool. I
Mhm.
wanted to learn how to work on them. So then I did that, and I worked in that field for a little bit, and then I was like, wait, I really don't like working on other people's cars. I
Yeah,
like
okay.
working on my cars. I don't like working on other people's cars. So I was like, all right, well, let's keep this as a hobby. The schooling didn't go to waste. I learned a lot, met some cool
Mhm.
friends. Like I have a friend now that I went to school with when I went to that tech school, who now he's a mechanical engineer for Porsche.
Mhm.
Like
That's cool.
super cool,
That's
right?
cool.
And so I was like, okay, well, let's try something else. And so about that time actually is when COVID happened. And the only job that I could find at that time was security, like working security. So I worked at security at a gate, like just like the gate to like this plant for a while. Well, then they canceled their contract with the security company kind of right around after COVID happened. And then my daughter was born. And so I went back to the company that I was working for and I was like, hey, they canceled the contract at this place. Do you have somewhere else you can send me? And they're like, actually, uh, your firearm um, like research coming up. We need you to go shoot again. I was like, okay. So I go out there with my company to recertify on my firearm, and uh, there was another security company out there that saw me shoot, and they're like, hey, this guy can shoot. Like he's really good. So they came over there and offered me ten $10 more. Actually, wait, I skipped a lot. Anyways, we'll go back and we'll backtrack. They offered me $10 more to come and work for their company. I worked there for like 2 years as a bodyguard for the CEO of what was Tenet Healthcare,
Mhm.
and that was cool. And I actually ended up getting that job, that security job, almost kind of indirectly through meeting a friend in college the first time,
Yeah.
because her dad is now the mayor of Flowertown. And he owned his own private security firm. So in between the army and working in security, I kind of just like while I was in college, the GI Bill was paying for everything, and I had a part-time job bartending and stuff like that. I traveled around and did try to like get into the music scene.
Yeah.
I was an extra in some movies. Um, I did so many things, dude. I've been to nursing school. I went to IT school. I bartended. I was a waiter. I worked in a factory. I did the oil field for a little bit. I mean, I could rattle. Like, it would take the
That's
entirety of this
crazy.
podcast to like fully
That's
explain to you
crazy.
everything I've done.
Okay. Okay. And so then if we fast back forward to when you realized, okay, like a lot of these things I'm doing and trying, they're not for me.
Yeah,
How did you end up finding what was for you and what is that?
trial and error. Trial and error really was like my entire life has been like, let me see if I like this. Okay,
Mhm.
I don't like this. Not going to do that anymore. So
Yeah, yeah.
I've always been that. I'm not a visual learner. I'm not a textbook or a study or a note taker kind of learner. I'm a hands-on learner. I have to do something physically to figure out if I'm either A, good at it, or B, enjoy it.
Mhm.
Those are the two things. And so it took me a while, but about 2 years ago, I started working for um, a power utility company here in the Northeast Texas region, and I am doing basically I'm doing like demand planning for them, and I really enjoy that because it's like, okay, I got to make sure that I have the correct amount of material, and I got to make sure that it gets here on time, and I got to talk with other people, figure out, do I need to order specific stuff for this specific job, and I really enjoy that, and I really like the power utility field
Mhm.
because it interests me. Like there's
Mhm.
so much that goes into that, and I've been doing it for 2 years, and I know a lot. But there's still a whole lot that I just don't know.
Mhm.
So I'm always constantly learning.
Yeah. So you never have you ever had any sort of like issues around mistakes or failure or trying again or whatever it is to where like even in this industry that you're enjoying, it's like, okay, well, I didn't know this, but now I feel bad because I didn't know it versus, oh, I didn't know it and now I know it and that's cool. And then you can just do it again.
That's kind of anytime I make a mistake, whether it's in life or a financial mistake or a work mistake or anything, right?
Mhm.
I tend to take a step back and I try to find the root cause of the problem. Was it complacency? Was I just not paying attention? Or that's kind of the same thing, but you know what I mean. Like I try to step
Yeah.
back and be like, okay, what went wrong here?
Mhm.
And so, like when I worked in the oil field for a couple months, it's because my daughter was getting older, but I was working offshore oil, so like I was not on land for a month
Yeah.
at a time, and I'd come back, and I did that for a couple months, and then all of a sudden, my daughter's speaking in full sentences,
Mm.
and so I was like, okay, money doesn't buy time. This
Yeah.
is not worth it. I'm not going back. Like I told them, I was like, I'm not coming back. And then when I went to nursing school, where I met my now girlfriend. It was like, when I was in the military, I really enjoyed the medic aspect of it. I was an infantryman, but I really enjoyed like the medic aspect of it. So I was like, let me just roll the dice on this, see what happens. And I enjoyed it. I really liked it. But here's the thing: all of the hands-on stuff, all the clinical stuff I did in the hospitals and stuff, I was really, really good at. But then you put a piece of paper in my face and tell me to bring it from here and put it on paper. I can't do it.
Mm.
I can't like it. I can physically do the work. I cannot mentally do the work.
Mhm.
And so that's where I was like, okay, this is not going to work. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to make it. So I just told myself, hey, like I enjoyed this. I had a great time, but it's not going to, I'm not going to make it in the long run.
Mhm. Mm. I think that's cool though. I think the fact that you had the chance to experience so many different things in life and you
Yeah.
chose to, which is cool, right? I've what what I what I hear is that you said this isn't working next versus I think a lot of people fall into the trap of this isn't working, but I'm afraid of what's next, so I stay here.
So here's my philosophy behind that, right? Life is too short to stay in a position where it's not enjoyable,
Mhm.
right? Because the majority of your life, 8 hours, so you gotta think about it, 8 hours of your day on a normal, just everyday, like just pretty much a normal day for anybody in the normal workforce. 8 hours a day, you're working. Well, that 2 hours in the morning, you're getting ready for work and eating breakfast. And then
Mhm.
you might have 2 or 3 hours after work where you get to enjoy your hobbies, do what you want to do, X, Y, and Z. And you got another hour or two trying to get ready for bed, take a shower, pack your lunch for tomorrow, X, Y, and Z. And then you
Mhm.
sleep the rest of the time. So if you don't enjoy what you're doing, go do something different
Yeah.
because life is too short for you to not enjoy what you're doing.
Can I share with you this thought that I just had? Because what you just said is what I like voice dictated this as I was driving home from a dinner one night because I thought about this exact thing and and so I said was the reason that we often dislike certain jobs is the lack of engagement. For instance, I don't
Yes.
enjoy my current job because I go in, do my tasks, and leave. So it feels like I'm frozen in time for 6 to 8 hours each day without any sense of life progression. And
Mm-hmm.
after that, I'm expected to make progress in the rest of my life and the rest of the day. And I was thinking of like, yeah, those 8 hours are my prime energy working hours, and I feel like I'm not doing anything with them
Yep.
because I'm just sitting there working. And I was trying to like I was trying to think about like what other reasons why I might not enjoy my job, right? And that was one of the ones where it's like I like making progression in life. I like seeing things grow. I like seeing myself grow. Like I'm obsessed with personal growth. I'm obsessed with like improving myself in some way, form, or fashion, and not doing that for 8 hours of the day sucks.
Yes.
It sucks so bad.
And
But
that's
I
another thing that really pushed me away from like a lot of jobs that I was like, okay, I could kind of see myself here. Is I would talk to them, and in the interview process, I'm sure you've been there. They talked about progression and
yeah.
how you can grow with the company and stuff. And I listened to it. But there was one job in particular. I'm not gonna name it, but um, they were like, hey, yeah, you work here for a couple months, and then we reevaluate you, and then you'll get a raise, and then if you want to transition over to X, Y, and Z, then you can do that. And I was like, okay, cool. So did it for a couple months, met some friends there in some higher roles, right? Because my whole philosophy on jobs is I don't want my boss's job. Okay, I want
Mhm.
my boss. I want my boss's job. I want
Mhm.
I want that next. I don't want his job. I want the next one, and then the next one, right? And I worked at that company for like 3 or 4 months. Applied 4 separate times for 4 open positions with 4 separate references from somebody in that position. Didn't even get an interview.
Mm.
And so after that, I was like, I'm done. I'm not gonna sit here and continue to roll the dice. I've seen zero progression. I've gotten zero acknowledgement. I'm not doing it no more.
Mm,
I'll go find somebody else who appreciates the work that I put in.
yeah.
So in the company that I'm with now, I was there for 3 months. 3 months in, and they were like, "Hey, we're giving you a raise." Another 6 months past that, they're like, "Hey, you're getting a promotion,
Mhm.
and you're getting another raise." And hopefully, there's already been talk about it, but hopefully, I'm about to get another one. And I haven't even been there for 2 years yet. My 2 year
Mhm.
mark is in January. I've only been in this company for a year and a half.
Mhm.
This is like that plays into it a lot. Like
Yeah.
if you're gonna say, hey this, hey that, hey this, hey that, and then not act on it. Sorry, I'm not a loyalist. I'm not there because I owe anything to this company. At the end of the
Mhm.
day, I'm there so that I can make money so I can pay my bills.
Mhm.
And I don't absolutely hate this job.
Yeah.
That's the end of that. That's just the cut and dry. That's the black and white. There's no gray line.
Yeah. There's a trap that comes to mind with like a full like 4-year, 5-year college degree. And so we're both gamers, right? So
Yeah.
when you lock in and you're given like a class, and
Mhm.
you played Elden Ring, right?
No, I have
You know,
not.
I haven't. Okay, so in Elden Ring, and a lot of games have this, but it's just easier to explain in this one. When you boot the game up, you have many different classes that you can do, which like
Yeah.
allocate stat points to you, or you can be
Yeah.
the
It's like a
last
D and
class,
D style.
right? And
Yeah.
then the last class is just unallocated. You're just a blank slate like creature, like a thing, and then you just
Hmm.
go out and then you allocate your classes the way you want it. And kind of what I difference between you and me is I chose a class and I said I'm gonna do that class, which means the
Hmm.
entire game
It's based
I'm in
around
this
that.
class, or I
Yes.
feel like I have to be in this class because if I want to switch classes, I have to find the reset stone. I have to reset all my skill points, and I have to reallocate the skill points, and
And then
then
you have to relearn how to
and then
play the
to
character.
relearn how to play the game.
Yeah.
Versus you got associates within
Yep.
associates, but you are more of a blank slate where you're like, I can just try whatever I want. I have the ability to do that, and you try this, and you try that, and you try this, and you try that, and you try this, and it's like, okay, cool. You have the freedom to try because I don't think you necessarily locked yourself into a class
Yeah.
so like early on, and I'm feeling kind of the pains of that now because I do want to do something else, and I don't know if it's a smaller tax firm, if it's bookkeeping, if it's wealth asset management, but I'm once again that's
Opening your
all
own
locked into
business.
like accounting, opening my own business, which I don't think I would do with accounting or taxes, even though that's like the most logical next step.
Hmm.
I was talking to I was actually talking to Liz for 2 hours today, and
Hmm.
we were talking about this, and I came across just a random email, like newsletter from a podcast production company that I just happened to get on their mailing list somehow. And they were like, we're looking for a podcast intern, like production intern.
Hmm.
And what I'm really angry about with myself is that job, regardless of if it's good or bad or whatever, the idea of a podcast production intern was more enticing than any other tax, accounting, bookkeeping, or finance role that I've seen come across my Indeed email list for like months.
Because that is exactly where your heart belongs.
And
That's why you started this.
that's why like and I get that. And I think now I'm like, okay, I got a little bit of that like taste.
Hmm.
And now I'm like, where does that take me? What do I do with this like
See, but
feeling?
here's the thing, right? So you're married, but you're not locked down, right? And the good thing about your wife and her job is y'all can pick up and go wherever you want. Like y'all aren't tied down. Me, I have kid. My company's based here in Northeast Texas. I'm relatively tied down, but I have the option to move like counties and cities and stuff like
Mhm.
that. You and your wife are free as a bird, dude. Y'all can go where y'all can just decide. Like, I mean, I understand she's probably still in residency and X, Y, and
Yeah,
Z,
yeah.
but once she's free of those shackles, there's nothing necessarily holding y'all to a specific place.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll tell you right now, I'm manifesting Austin for us.
Austin's
Uh
good. So Austin itself, I am not a fan of.
mhm.
The surrounding parts of Austin are okay.
Mhm.
Round Rock, Georgetown, I like those areas. I don't like Austin itself.
Yo, tell me why, because you're the first person who has said something like that, and I want to hear your
I just don't like
reasoning.
people. I
Mm.
don't like being around a lot of people. I lived in
Yeah,
DFW for 3 years,
you
dude, and
told
the
me like
entire
the city
time,
life wasn't for you.
It's not. I just don't like it. Like I lived in DFW for 3 years. I've lived in town in our hometown.
Mhm.
I've lived, uh, on base on a military base. I need to be able to get away. I need like nature noises, and I need to be
Mhm.
able to like go outside and like not be around anybody.
Yeah.
Like, I'm around people at work all day long. I don't want to
Yeah,
be
yeah.
around people at home.
I get that. I get that. I'm slowly understanding that I'm the not the opposite, but because my work has been so remote for so many years that it has caused me to become more depressed over time. And so I think the reason why this year has been so good for me is because finally like taekwondo takes me out and in front of people
Hmm.
twice a week. I'm starting to make friends and actually seeing people outside of like this, which isn't for like work and just you know being around people in person. And I think the difference there is because I didn't do that for work. When I
Yeah.
was working in DFW and I was going into the office, I would come home and be like, I don't want to see anybody because I was around
Hmm.
people for work. So I think like going remote was really sucked because I just didn't see anyone. It
Hmm.
wasn't like, oh, I can just now see my friends and I have to see my colleagues. I just didn't see anyone, and I also didn't take the step to do it. But I've learned that I'm more social than I think I am. I'm a lot
You
more
are a
social
social
than I
butterfly,
think
dude.
I
Like
am.
you might think you're not a social butterfly. Me and you are the same exact person. All right. We get in
Yeah.
front of a crowd or people start hyping us up, and all of a sudden we're like, you know what? Maybe this is about
No, no, that's how you are. Me, I don't like the spotlight. I can put myself in it, but I'll get really scared.
I drag you into the spotlight.
Yeah, that was a fun time. That was a fun time. Um, but I do think based on all this mulling and ruminating and thoughts that I've been doing, talking with friends like you and people who also don't know me, I do think there's like a change
Hmm.
that's like gonna happen. And I do think it'll be for the better. I'm just trying to think once again, I'm trying to think through it instead of just doing it, which
Hmm.
I think that's to most people's detriment. And there's this idea that like, you know, with in general, people say like most people need to think more, but then there's a small population of like most you guys need to think less
Yeah.
and just do more.
Yeah. I fall into the I should probably think more category
Hmm.
because I'm very confident and cocky in a lot of my abilities that I really shouldn't be sometimes.
Hmm.
Like the other day at work, I was trying to flip something over and it was really really heavy, and I was like, I could very easily just go get the forklift and get this done, but I was like, no, I'm strong enough to do this. It took me like 5 or 10 minutes of struggling to like finally get it to flip.
Yeah,
It was a big old reel of wire, dude. It
yeah.
probably weighed every bit of like 800 pounds or something like that. I was like, I
Hmm.
can flip this. There's a certain point where this is just gonna take its weight and go. I
Yeah.
was like, I can get it to that point, and I could have just went on got in the forklift and just had it done in 10, 15 seconds.
Yep. I feel that. I feel that. I once again similar but opposite of like I have such low confidence in most of my abilities that even as a 6-year tax professional manager at a big four accounting firm, I'm still like, could I really do somebody else's tax return? I know I could. I know I could. But I have zero confidence in the fact that like, oh yeah, I can just do it on my own. It doesn't really matter. Like I got this kind of thing. Um,
Are you the kind of guy where like you see a job posting, you read the requirements and you're like, ooh, I don't know.
Bro, okay, I
I
love
am
that
the opposite.
I love that you said that. So just recently, a job posting from Aura Health, so the ones who make the
Uh-huh.
rings,
Yeah.
that came across my desk, and the pay was higher. It was a tax lead position, but what they left out was a global tax lead, which is basically a much higher position than just a tax lead, and it would be essentially working through all of their accounting workflow and tax workflow, making sure it's in compliance with certain accounting standards, and helping scale with the company, like all the accounting and all that stuff. And I'd show this to like my friends when we were at dinner, and my wife and my friends were like, you should apply to that. I'm like, no, I shouldn't. the tax that I do is nowhere near this what tax this does. I would have to like study for 6 months on the accounting standards at least to like be like probably passable. And I thought about it, I could apply to this. I could probably study for the interview. I could BS my way through the interview somehow, some way.
Dude, I'm so good at BSing through
Um,
interviews. It's
like
not even
same,
funny.
same. The amount of times I have and I've gotten the offer and then I said no. Um, but when I'm at the job, I would be filled with so much anxiety and dread of like I can't mess up any single tiny deliverable because then they know this guy's not he's not like he lied on the interview or
See, but
whatever it is,
here's the
right?
thing: that you're already in the position. What are they gonna do?
Fire me? Like that's the
Restart?
thing. They might um but
Sometimes it's worth rolling the dice.
it was really funny because my wife put into ChatGPT, is it better to work at Aura Health or what my current company was? And ChatGPT like listed off all the different things of like this is
Mhm.
better, but this is worse and this is better. She's like, see, look, it says overall Aura Health is better to work at. I'm like, no, it's not. But that's just like a small example of like I'll see all these things come across my desk, and I also think like the big thing for me right now is they're so chill at the current job of like if you need to take off, you just take off, don't have to apply for
Mhm.
it. If you just need like a day, if you wake up with a headache and a migraine, you just can't be in front of a computer, you just take off the day and then get your work done later. And
Yep.
I am very intimately aware of companies who just have very stringent like
That
policies like that.
is that is a very, in at least in my eyes, the benefits sometimes outweigh everything else.
Right.
So, like, for example, like I had to go to the ER on my birthday because I got bucked off of a horse, and
Yeah.
I hurt my knee
Dang.
really bad. Like I couldn't walk on it bad. I was on crutches for like a week. Didn't tear anything. Luckily, did an MRI, X-ray. Didn't tear anything. It was just a really bad bruise. My knee
Yeah.
swelled up. I mean, my knee swelled up big. It was bad. And I went to the ER and gave them my insurance and everything like that. $25.
That's cool.
Like that's all I owed the ER was $25.
See, that's just like one of those examples of like the healthcare like industry and how it works for us actually coming into like a benefit
Yeah.
versus people who have like
Well, I only pay like $300 a month for me and my daughter. Like that's for me
mm-hmm,
and my daughter for uh, dental vision, health, like just medical, AD&D, life insurance, like the
mm-hmm,
works, dude. I have everything. And it's like
mm-hmm,
$300 a month. My company pays almost like 700. Like they
mm-hmm,
pay the majority on my behalf,
mm-hmm.
and I get 16 hours of PTO a month,
That's two
and it
days.
and it all rolls over.
Yeah.
So like I sitting here currently now, I have like 100 and some odd hours of PTO, and I take off quite often. Like at
Yeah.
least once or twice a month, I'll take like a Friday off or a Monday off.
Mm. I see. That's good. No, I think
But
that's
like,
really good. And I think like that, when you do what people say where you like do like your list of pros and cons and everything like that, it's like and I've had this conversation with people who have now left the firm where I was from and people who are still there. And it's like the pros just currently and
mm-hmm,
even if I left, the pros would still outweigh the cons. Because the
mm-hmm,
cons really are I don't like the time-based metric system of like you put in your time, charge it to a client code, and that's how they base your utilization off of. Therefore, you're not incentivized to work faster. You're incentivized to work longer
mm-hmm.
on the same task. And then
It's
I
almost
just
like a commission,
kind of it's because
loosely.
you still get paid the same even if you work like 50% utilization or 80% utilization. It's just more
Mm-hmm.
so if depending on your utilization is what your bonus is at the end of the year. And so either you do a good job, you get a tier three, you do a above average job, you get a tier two, or you blew it out of the park and you're one of the best of your class or your employee ranking, you get a tier one.
See, and that's what I like about my company is you get a automatic minimum bonus and raise every single year,
Same.
automatic.
Yeah, same. Which is also why like yeah, benefits outweigh the cons, but the current con is I'm sad. And so do
I'm sorry,
I.
I shouldn't laugh at
Yo,
it,
clip
but it
that, clip
just
that, clip that, clip.
I was expecting everything else except for that.
I don't look sad right now. Haha.
Yeah, that's
But
called functioning depression.
that's so funny. That's
Oh,
this can
that.
only happen in a conversation like this. But pivoting us away from like my stuff because I think if the audience is listening, they've probably heard a lot of my stuff before I want to go back to you.
Okay.
You have horses. You recently
Yes.
acquired a boat.
Yes.
Um, what? Tell us about your horses.
Okay. So technically, they're not my horses.
Okay.
They're my girlfriend's horses.
Okay.
But I ride them and I take care of them and I do everything else. So they're
Okay.
my
Cool.
horses.
Cool.
We have 6 total horses. We have a
Okay.
mini horse that is for my daughter, miniature pony. And a lot of people hear that and they're like, "Oh my gosh!" Like, I mean, probably not listening to this podcast, but you tell that to anybody around here, they're like, "You gave your daughter a mini horse?" Mini horses are, what's the word I'm looking for? They're stereotypically like really mean and like
Mm,
really just not good to be
I
around
see.
children. Dude, my daughter can run up to this mini horse and just jump on her, wrap her arms around her, touch her all over. She just stands there. She's the best horse for a kid, the
Awesome.
absolute best. So we have that one. Then we have Chad. He's an old paint horse. He's the one. There's actually a picture over there of my girlfriend on him. He's won a lot of money. He's worth a lot of money. And we have Fiona. She's a barrel horse. We have Dubs, who's also a barrel horse and a rope horse. We have Bliss, who's a pleasure horse, and then we have Merle, who will be 2 years old in January. I think
Mm.
he's still a little baby. So those are our 6 horses, and then we also have 5 dogs. And we
5
have
dogs?
5 dogs.
5 dogs. 6
we
horses,
have
5 dogs.
Yeah,
Continue.
and we have Reba, Nene, and Paris, and they are all Australian shepherds.
Okay.
We have oh, I just blanked on her name, Dally. Dally's a
Okay.
mutt. We don't know what she is, but she's the
Okay.
sweetest dog in the world. And then we have
Okay.
Peyton. Peyton is literally so she's a Chihuahua mix, Chihuahua like Jack Russell Terrier mix, maybe. I think I don't really know. She's also a mutt, but she's so fat. I mean, she's so fat. If the best way I can picture it is if you took a potato, right, and then you took coffee stirrers and you put 4 coffee stirrers in the bottom of the potato, and then you put a smaller potato for a head on top of the bigger potato, that is exactly what that dog looks like. To a T,
Okay.
bro.
Okay.
I mean, exactly.
Awesome.
She is very easy to draw.
I
Okay,
see.
like she, like if you asked a 5-year old, "Hey, draw a dog," that's what that dog looks like.
I see.
And then we have Cheeto and uh, Raccoon. Cheeto and Raccoon are the 2 outside barn cats.
Okay.
Raccoon got fixed.
Okay.
And when you fix an animal, just like it did in the vasectomy, there's a grace period where it still works.
Mm.
Sometime in that grace period, Cheeto got pregnant.
Oh my god.
So now we have 7 cats, 5 dogs, 6 horses.
You know, I usually
Our
was like,
animal food
can we get a
bill is
pet
very
fish?"
high.
And I'm like, "No." I'm like, "No." That's crazy. Did you ever think when we were like in high school that you would be where you are now with like a house
Absolutely
full of
not.
so many animals?
Absolutely not.
But you
I
love it.
Yeah, I wouldn't trade anything for it, dude. No, it's like if I'm inside, if I'm playing video games, I've lost 4 or 5 games in a row on lead, or I don't feel like playing old school RuneScape, or there's nothing to clean inside of the house. Like I don't feel like going and shooting my guns. I don't feel like working on anything in the shop. I can go outside and play with my dog, mess with the
Mm,
cats, ride a horse. Like I have so many options available to me now. I wouldn't trade it for the world.
mm. What is something you've learned with taking care of so many different like animals and different types of animals and everything?
Patience. There's times where like we have to catch a horse to take him somewhere, put him up, doctor him, take him to the vet, and they don't want you to come near them. And you have like I've been out there for an hour and a half, walking around in a circle in a pasture, trying to catch one specific horse. And every time I get within 10 feet, they take off running to the other side.
Mm,
And you can't do anything. I mean,
yeah.
I could go get a rope and try to rope them, but if I miss or if they freak out, it's either going to hurt them or me. So there's no point. So I just have to be patient, wait for them to be like, okay, fine. So
Patience. I think that's actually fair. That's what a lot of people who I in my life who I've known who like have animals are like. It's kind of just that's what it teaches you. Like, um, same way a kid's gonna teach you the same thing, but different slightly.
yeah,
But um, that's cool. That's really cool. So then let's talk about this boat.
yes.
Can you share with everybody the story you told me about how you acquired said boat?
So I've been looking all over Facebook Marketplace trying to find one. Really want one, right? Because I live 8 minutes from the lake now.
Mm-hmm.
I can wake up, brush my teeth, throw clothes on, get hook up the trailer or hook my truck up to the boat, and be at the lake in less than 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe fish for a couple hours, and then come back home.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'd always been like fishing off the bank and stuff there. I was like, man, I really need a boat.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, started asking around, started shopping on Facebook Marketplace. And this old feller down the road has one. And I was like, oh. I get to talking to him, X, Y, and Z. Asked him if he'd ever wanted to sell it, blah, blah, blah. And he said, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. Well, so I let it sit for about 2 weeks. Finally, I went over there and talked to him again. And he was like, yeah, I'm really looking for getting this. So I really want this. And I was like, well, I have two of those things you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, really, what you got? And I was like, let me go home, grab them, I'll bring them back to you. So I go home, get them, bring them up to him. We're looking at them. He tries it out, and he's like, yeah, we can do that. And I was like, do what? And he's like, I like these. I'll just take these two. You just take the boat. I was like, okay. Each one of those things cost me like 150, $200, and you
Yeah.
give me a boat for it, dude. Deal. The boat works, runs, it works
Nice.
fine.
So
I
you
had
don't
a
have to
great
you don't
time.
have to do you don't have to do any like souping up or like upgrading or anything like that to it.
It started. Put gas in it. Put gas in it. Checked the oil. Turned it on. Fired right up.
Nice.
Now it doesn't need a little bit of work. Yes, but it works.
Mm-hmm.
It is a running and driving boat that I traded for essentially $400.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. See, that's what's so talking to you is so cool. Talking to you is so cool. Only because like you'll have like the GTA RP just like experiences
Mm-hmm.
that I obviously only read about. I only read about these
Dude,
things
I
ever
have
because I'm
stories that
too
I
afraid.
just
I'm too afraid to like ever venture into these type of things.
yeah. I have stories that I just like. I don't think I can legally save them on the internet.
That's
Like,
fine. That's fine. Because you know what? Whoever listening to this, you don't get to hear it, but I will later in life, in private.
yeah,
Um,
like, and
but
it's nothing that was illegal. It's just like if I say the things that I happened or was a part of or anything like that, the internet would take it down for sensitive information or
right,
like you know what I mean. Like,
yeah.
there's nothing illegal that I did. It's just I was there and it happened, and then people on the internet nowadays, especially just in my opinion, everybody's too soft.
I
They're gonna
I do think a lot. I think I agree with you.
they're gonna
For lack of a better phrasing, I agree with you.
yeah.
I
Like,
think people are very
I
soft.
don't know how to make it. I don't know how to make it. People can't fathom something not being exactly how they want to anymore.
Mm,
It's either no, everything has to be like this. You can't. There's no strays. Like everybody wants the internet to be like a tree. Everything just is in just a straight line and then blossoms at the top and everything's all pretty.
I
Internet's not
think
like a tree.
I think
Internet's like a bush. Okay.
well well to your point, I think because people think that they can now curate their reality because of
It's not
like
how that works.
and because they can just be online so they can curate it versus back in the day like what was in front of you because you went to everywhere in person. If you didn't like a person, they were in front of you. They said something you didn't like, they're in front of you.
Yep.
Even now you still get people online who they say what something that you don't like, but you scroll past it. So
Yes.
you had to like sit there and you have to, so like
You
your
can
reality,
build
yeah, you can
your
build
own
your own
reality.
reality,
It's not how
and
life works.
it's not. And I I try to be sensitive to people's experiences and understanding that, okay, cool, I understand that when somebody says something that you don't like online, depending on what's said, I can get you get mad, all that stuff. But the amount of times that I've seen uproars over things that I think are like, these are just other humans being humans,
Hmm.
voicing their human thoughts,
Hmm.
and you've had the same thoughts, but you just didn't voice them, and now you're mad at somebody else, who voiced them, or something happened, whatever it is, right?
Yep.
I do think we are softening our resilience. I feel
Yes.
it myself. Like my mind is so plastic instead of stone. Like I think it could have been because I'm just so online, like all the time, and I have taken steps to like reduce just the amount of times that I'm online or I'm ever in an app now.
Hmm.
But the time that I did spend in it, which was college all the way through like now, like I spend so much time on these apps and on these platforms. And honestly, my time is less than other people's times, and other people's times is less than mine. But I feel so plastic,
Yeah.
like all this fear, anxiety, fear of rejection, fear of validation, this anxiety of uncertainty, all that stuff. Like it just forms from chronically being online and being inside my house. And as soon as I get outside, I talk to people in person. People are fine. People are great. Um, I do taekwondo. I'm a yellow belt. I can kick your ass yellow belt style. Um, which which you know. Okay, so you know how men are all men, and regardless of if they admit it or not, all men have a fantasy of getting into a fight. If you've never been in a fight, every man has a fantasy. I know you have. So and you I can tell with that body. But with my body, you can tell I haven't really been in a fight. But every man fantasizes about some sort of altercation appearing coming their way. And what would I do in that moment, right?
Dude,
How would I go
so
about doing this? Like, what is my Sherlock Holmes mapping out all the attacks and shit that's gonna happen, and then how I'm
the
gonna like submit somebody in 30 seconds?
the way my brain works, right? Because I've done combat sports since I could walk.
Yeah.
Okay. I did taekwondo, I've done boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai, jiu-jitsu, judo, like you name it, I've done some form or practice of it. I trained literally I started in taekwondo, then I did kickboxing and boxing, then I did jiu-jitsu and judo. I did it all throughout high school, like, and then I went into the military after that. And the military, it's kind of the same thing, but now you just implement like firearms and squad tactics and team
Mhm.
tactics into the mix as well. It's not
Mhm.
a solo sport anymore.
Yeah.
And so it's just so ingrained in my brain. The second that I walk anywhere or drive or just am just not in, I know when is like a safe, secluded zone,
Mhm.
I'm already processing exits or somewhere that's going to give me a strategic advantage, weak points. Like it sounds crazy. I can watch somebody walk and tell you if they've had a leg injury
Mhm.
based off of like the small little
Mhm.
ticks and stuff that
Mhm.
are typical with ACL tears, lead breaks, ankle breaks. I can visually see it and recognize
Mhm.
it. It's crazy, but that's just my brain is
Yeah.
hardwired to do that because of all of the years of combat training that I've had.
Do you like that?
It freaks people out most of the time when I tell them that. I think that personally it's good because this world is not a soft world. This world is cruel and hard, and there are people out there who genuinely just ultimately want to cause other people harm. And for the majority of the time, I feel like I'm more than prepared for if a situation evolves around me.
Mhm.
But here's the thing, I'm not going to put myself or my family or my friends that I'm with in
Mhm.
direct danger because it's a fantasy of mine
Yeah.
to want to stop an intruder, to want to stop an attack, to want to stop whatever.
Yeah.
I have priorities. My priorities is my own safety, and on top of that, my family's safety, my friends that I'm with safety that don't, or women and children that are in the general area. I'm going to get all of them out first, and if the threat is still persistent, then I will go back by myself, and then deal with the threat myself.
Mhm.
That's just how my brain is wired.
Mhm. For people who haven't had combat training before or yet, or maybe they're younger in life and haven't had a chance to do it, are there things that you would advise people to get trained up in just for the
So
general self-defense or health or whatever it is?
90% of street fights, if somebody wants to get into a physical hand-to-hand confrontation with you, 90% of street fights end up on the ground. And I'm kind of spitballing that number, but I mean, how many videos have you seen of like a fight posted online and they
Mm,
start out standing up and then eventually somebody throws somebody to the ground?
yeah.
A lot, right? So it's good to have a firm base in some sort of stand up fighting, whether it's taekwondo, whether it's Muay Thai, whether it's boxing, kickboxing. You know, have a good, relatively good stand up structure, but ground training will get you out of a lot of situations. If you can,
Mm,
somebody has to be able to do three things in order to fight. You have to be able to see, stand, and breathe. If you
mm,
can't see, stand, and breathe, if you take one of those things away, you are drastically reducing that person's chances of hurting you.
mm,
So if you can hyperextend a knee, gouge them in the eyes, hit them in the windpipe, make them choke, if or choke them out, if you can do one of those things, your chances of survival increase tremendously.
mm,
And going back to and so pepper spray, right? I believe that everybody, even in my truck right now, pepper spray is good in certain situations, and but nobody takes into effect the climate, the wind, the rain, the humidity. All that plays a factor in how pepper spray works. You know, it works just as well, and the environment has a lot less of a factor. Wasp spray, like
mm.
the big tall can you go to
Yeah, the
buy, and
ace,
it's
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that squirts 25 foot away, and
I have a story about that for you later.
you can
Continue.
kill a wasp nest on the top of your house. Same chemical compound, exact same chemical compound, and you can hit somebody from a lot further away.
Mm,
Just saying.
interesting. Interesting. Okay. Real quickly, I want to tell you this though. So my wife and I at a on vacation, and we were staying in an Airbnb, and it was in a tropical place, and so naturally it's like open air
Mhm,
system. And where we were staying, it was just open to the elements. And so as we were trying to leave one evening for dinner, there's a wasp right in front of our door, and there's only one way out of this place.
mhm,
So we have the main glass door, and then we have a net. But the
mhm.
wasp just kept hitting the door, and it wasn't leaving. And we're not gonna go outside in front of a wasp yet. I've been stung twice in the span of 24 hours at one time, and I was like,
It's
I
not
don't
fun.
I don't I don't want this again. I don't want
Yeah,
this again.
I got stung in the finger in third grade.
I got stung on the ankle and then my pinky
Yeah.
on that day. It was really annoying. And so we were like, what do we do? And so I think it was so aggressive. It really wanted to get in because it could hear or smell the flies that were inside our place. I think. I don't know. I don't know anything about wasps, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean,
But
I'm
but
not.
but it was just head butting the door. And
Yeah.
we're like, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? We tried to wait it out. Didn't wait it out. I was like, you know what? I got this. They did give us some like ant, wasp, and like spider like killer like spray, and
Mhm.
so so we closed the net, but we grabbed the glass door from like the inside, and we pull the glass door open and leave the net there and start spraying up and down like the where the wasp is, and then just close the glass door again. And mind you, this is outdoors, but to your point, it's so effective that
Yeah.
like one, two, and by the third one, it was like gone. And
Yeah.
then its brother came or its friend came, and then we had a second one there, and I was like, I already did this once, one, and then he
Yep.
flew away.
Yeah.
And I was like, that I've
It's a
never had
very
wasp
effective
spray
tool.
work so well in my life.
Yeah. It's a very effective tool that not a lot of people think about. And my ultimate dream is I want to open up like kind of like my own like gun store shooting range type thing. But I don't want it specifically to just be like a shooting range or a gun store. I want to have like a big old warehouse out to the side, and I want to just teach self defense tactics. Like specifically, I want to target like single moms, college aged women. Like I want to be able to teach because I have a daughter, and I have a sister, and my sister's already gone through college and everything like that. I taught her everything she knows. I'm going to teach my daughter everything that she needs to know, but I want to spread the information that I know, not only specifically to women and children. I want to teach adults and kids. Like I want to teach everybody, but I want to spread my knowledge so that. And my whole philosophy is, if you come to one of my classes, right, and I give you the knowledge that I have, and I make you train it, I'm going to make them train it. This isn't going to be like, this is how you do this.
Yeah,
This isn't how you do
it's not gonna be a
this.
workout
It's
class.
it's not gonna be no. It's gonna be like, hey, here's how you do this. Now we're gonna go put it in action.
Mm,
I want to physically see you do it. And my whole philosophy behind this class is I'm not guaranteeing your safety, but I am guaranteeing you a better chance if you were to find yourself in this scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's my ultimate. That's what I want to do. I want to open that up, but it's a lot of money.
A
It's
lot
a
of money.
lot of
Running a business is a lot of risk.
it's
Yep,
a
I
lot of
get it.
legal
Yep.
like hoops you got to jump through. A lot of licensing you got to get, and
Yeah.
I'm just not in the position to pursue that right now.
Mm-hmm.
But like if the topic comes up or somebody asks me about it, I can talk on it for an hour and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can just rattle it off. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Are you are you content in life right now?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm kind of exactly where I want to be currently. I mean, of course, like I wish I had a little less debt. I wish I made a little bit more money, but also like at the end of the day, dude, I have a roof over my head. I have family that likes to see me. I have friends that like to see me. I have a job I don't hate going to. Like I, I'm a lot better off than a lot of people. You know what I mean? So it's like
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty content. Things will come. Money will come. Things will come. You just have to be patient. My dad always told me, he's like, everybody wants everything to happen all at once. They want what they want. They want this now. They want that now. Time, time, time will fix everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like you just got to be patient. And everybody says, "Oh, lives are so short, X, Y, and Z," and they are. But you have to be able to just like take a step back and breathe. You can't just be stressed all the
Yeah. Guys, this has been Blayne, my
time.
best friend since third or second grade. When did we meet? Can
I
can
don't
you can
even.
pull
I
this up?
don't, dude. I
I
don't
I
remember.
want to say second, but it could be fourth. I don't remember. It was
Did you?
elementary somewhere.
It was elementary school somewhere because I think we played on the same soccer team at PSA.
Yes, that probably did happen. Um, and then we did bassoon together for
Yep.
12
So,
years.
yep.
You went to saxophone, I went to baritone,
Yep.
and then I went to college, and you joined
The
the
military, but
military.
I did come down and see you.
You did come down. Guys, this is how you know. This is not how you know he's a day one. When he got stationed in whatever fort he was close enough to where I was in college at that time, to where he drove down one weekend. We hung out and we went to Masala Walk in Richardson, Texas. And if there's one place that has the
I
best slop Indian food, I
I
promise you it's
love
Masala Walk.
Masala Walk.
Masala Walk in Richardson, Texas has at that
Every
time
single time I go into
had
DFW, I get Masala Walk.
it had the best chicken lollipops, and it had a really good spicy and flavorful paneer butter masala. And whenever I would be really sad in college, or I would get a bad grade, or I'd just be very emotional, I would go to Masala Walk, grab those two things, and I would just eat that night. My insides would be burning, but my eyes wouldn't. And
Yeah.
that's what it was. Blayne, I have one question for you that I ask everybody who comes to the podcast,
Okay.
and intentionally vague question. But if there's one piece of advice you want to give to somebody who's listening today, what would it be?
Oh, it's so good. God, it's so vague.
It's so good. It's so vague.
Life is too short to be worried about what other people think about you, to be worried about what other people are doing, to be worried about, well, how do I look on the internet? Well, how do I look to my friends and family? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter because it is your life. Do what makes you happy. Do what's going to make you more productive. Do what makes you feel better and what makes you feel like you were doing right. Is it going to be right all the time? No. But we're human. We make mistakes. It's okay as long as you're learning from those mistakes.
Blayne, thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate it.
Yeah. And I mean, we barely scratched the surface. We
I
could probably
know
do
we,
four or
we could do
five more
more of we could do more
podcasts.
of these, and I want to try and obviously I've been trying to do more in person things, and so as I find myself in areas closer to you, we'll do something in person too.
Yeah, we'll find something to do. I mean, even if it's just, go get dinner and talk for an hour.
Yeah, yeah. All right, everybody. See you in the next one. Bye.
See ya.